The year is 1987, and television sets all over the nation flash in sync to the premiere of Full House. The Simpsons make their first appearance on TV, and the Cold War is still in full effect. An up-and-coming footwear brand by the name of Nike was on the verge of collapsing to their competitors. How were they going to stand out from the bright pink and neon green colors that dominated fashion back then? The answer, my friends, is the Nike Air Max 1. The first Nike shoe to reveal the magic behind Nike's famous Air technology. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Brian, and my brother Nacho and I make videos on sneaker history and all things related to sneaker culture. So if you're a sneaker enthusiast like we are, then you might want to consider subscribing because we drop videos like this on the regular and you won't want to miss an upload. So with that out of the way, guys, let's get into the video. It seems like every other video we make, we end up talking about Tinker Hatfield. If you don't know already, Tinker Hatfield is one of the greatest, if not the best and most successful sneaker designers in the world. But did you know that he never actually set out to be a footwear designer? In fact, back in 1981, Tinker was originally hired by Nike as a corporate architect. His job was designing showrooms and offices for the rapidly growing company. It wouldn't be until several years later that Tinker Hatfield would be assigned the first shoe design project of his career, the Nike Air Max 1. But before we get into that, I want to tell you about the Nike Air Max 1's predecessor, the Nike Air Tailwind. The Air Tailwind was the first shoe to use Nike's now famous Air technology. It came out long before the Air Max 1. A lot of people think the Air Max 1 was the first shoe to feature air, but it's not. It was in fact the Nike Air Tailwind. When it came out in 1978, it created a lot of buzz for Nike and sold like crazy. I'm not going to spend too much time on the Tailwind since we already did an in-depth history video on the shoe, so I suggest you check that out at some point if you're interested. After the Nike Air Tailwind came out, Nike's Air technology became the company's main focus. Always thinking ahead, Nike wanted to develop the technology to be lighter and more effective. Innovation was their top priority. That's when Tinker Hatfield came in. During this time, Nike was trying to increase the size of the airbag units in their shoes to provide more cushioning. The problem was, all the polyurethane used in the sole wouldn't allow it. The polyurethane is what covers air units from being exposed, especially near the heel. Check out this clip from 1986 of a young Tinker Hatfield with his co-workers discussing this very exact issue.
We have finally designed a bag that puts the largest amount of air into the shoes for cushioning, but we've also widened the bag so that we're not sacrificing stability at all.
Well, that's great, but how are we going to fit an air sole this wide into our midsoles?
Yeah, but why not just show it? You know, it's not a bad idea to let people actually see what an airbag looks like. As a matter of fact, I've got a drawing here that actually shows what a shoe could look like with a visible window in the heel.
Tinker's inspiration for the shoe came about from a recent trip he took to Paris, where he saw the controversial Pompidou Center. This building was designed by a committee of architects that included Renzo Piano and Richard Rogers. The architectural structure of the building broke new ground in the 70s. It's unique because it reveals all the inner workings of the building and to this day still stands out among traditional French architecture. The idea of turning a design inside out intrigued Hatfield, and that's where the suggestion to expose the airbag in the Air Max 1 came from. Tinker was met with great opposition from Nike about his desire to expose the air unit, and the design nearly cost him his job. Upon its release, the Nike Air Max 1 featured a mesh and suede upper that made the shoe super lightweight and durable at the same time. Of course, the main feature of the shoe was its unforgettable air window. Nike was worried about people being hesitant to purchase the shoe because they were afraid that customers would think the air bubble would pop easily, but that just wasn't the case. The airbag was bigger and more robust than ever. The shoe was a massive success. The release of the Nike Air Max 1 in 1987 was a huge milestone for Nike, not only in regards to the success of the shoe, but more importantly, to the overall image and design direction for the brand moving forward. The varsity blue and red was an odd choice during the late 80s. Another interesting thing about the history of the Air Max 1 is that Tinker Hatfield's initial proposal for the design was actually what we know today as the Air Max 0. If we go back to that clip of Tinker proposing the design to his colleagues, you'll notice it's a yellow version of the Air Max 1 but with a different looking upper. Back then, it was impossible to manufacture the shoe due to its complex upper. But thanks to modern day technology, this specific shoe was actually released on Air Max Day in 2016. Since its release in 1987, the Air Max 1 has been celebrated by sneakerheads and artists all around the world. There are so many collabs and colorways to cover. I wouldn't be doing it any justice trying to cram them into this video. Just know that they exist and you should check out some of the many Air Max colorways that are available. On March 26th, every year since 2014, people celebrate the shoe. Nike declares this day Air Max Day. On Instagram, fans of the shoes use hashtag Air Max Day and post photos of them wearing Air Maxes. Nike drops special Air Max Day releases every year to go along with the hype. We thought we'd contribute in our own little way by making this video for you guys. Alright guys, I know this video is a little bit shorter than what we usually do, but that's because I wanted to have this video edited just in time for Air Max Day. But hey, if you want to learn more about the history of Nike Air Maxes, I put together this playlist here for you. It's a compilation of the history videos that we've done on Air Maxes. We've done the 95, the 97, the TN Plus. We've even done the Nike Air Tailwind. So go ahead and click on that and it'll take you over to those videos, and I will see you in those videos. Peace. Check out my shirt. Pretty cool, huh? Sorry, that was probably super loud on the mic. See ya. Peace.